Burning Little Lies isn't quite the worst film I've ever seen, but it's definitely got the most sickening ending. I'm Jay Harangue and I talk about soft porn and stalker movies.
You should subscribe.
So we start at this log cabin. This couple are in bed and the fire starts spreading throughout the house. The couple is woken up by the fumes, so they try to escape. Not sure why, but it looks like they're doing the conga. Come on and do the conga. Anyway, it's too late. The whole house is on fire. Now, it's only a 2-story house, so if you're wondering why they didn't try and escape out of any of the windows in the background or the French doors on the balcony, stop questioning and thinking about stuff, or you won't enjoy it.
I'm not leaving him!
Anyway, this couple has died, and the close-up on their rings tells us they were married. This is Heather. She's just got back from Paris, and it was her dad, Ross, killed in the fire, along with his wife, Mary, who was Heather's stepmom. Heather is at their house looking around at childhood memories. You'll notice the constant focus on soccer-related stuff, but don't worry about that, as it's totally irrelevant to the rest of the film.
It is.
Heather hears someone in the house, and it's Mary's daughter, Gwen. Heather and Gwen grew up together as stepsisters, but now they hate each other.
Oh no!
Heather's like, oh, hi, Gwen, I'm back for the funeral. Gwen's like, oh, right, yeah, you've missed it. It was this morning. Unlucky.
Come again?
Heather's like, what? How can you do this? And Gwen's all, yeah, well, I didn't think you'd be fucked to fly back from Paris for it. Even though the funeral was only this morning, Gwen is keen to start packing up all their stuff and get the house on the market.
Isn't that a little soon?
No, it's not.
Heather tries to smooth things over with Gwen, but it's no deal.
We're the only family that either of us has left.
Well, I still have a husband.
Ooh.
This is especially harsh, as Heather left her ex-husband Richard because he cheated on her all the time. This is Heather's friend Annika, and she's basically used so that Heather can explain stuff to the audience, but she does spot Heather's old bike.
Oh my god, Pinky?
Heather thinks it's a great idea to get her childhood bike serviced and get back out on the trails. If you're asking yourself why she'd have been old enough to ride a bike that size while being an appropriate age to have pink tassels on it, remember what I said earlier. Stop thinking about stuff. It's outside the bike shop that we meet Ben. He's absolutely pathetic. He's clearly obsessed with Heather and has been since school. He used to be a loser, but now he goes to the gym all the time, so apparently that means he's not anymore.
Don't worry, I wasn't exactly memorable.
Whereas now, he really stands out from the crowd. Anyway, he asks Heather out and she says no because she just got out of a bad marriage. But as he walks off, she sees that he's a fireman and is like, oh shit, maybe I should have done it. So there are 3 firemen in this town, and they only have 2 topics of conversation. The first is Ben's love life, or more accurately, his obsession with Heather. The second is Chile, the food, not the country, but more on that later. We're back at the house now, and Gwen is there with her husband Jason, who runs a tech company, so he always has to be seen on a laptop. Gwen is about to throw out the china, and Jason's like, don't throw it out, Heather might need it. And Gwen's like, what Heather needs is a punch in the cunt.
It's a little harsh.
Then Gwen starts saying she bets Ross caused the fire that killed her mum, because he was so forgetful.
I see.
Heather gets back, they have more arguments despite Jason's effort to keep the peace, before Heather goes out for a ride on Pinky. And here she is riding Pinky down the trail, but something's up with the bike, so she stops to inspect it. Oh, and look who it is, it's Ben. And of course, he's got a stupid little repair kit velcroed to his bike.
Always be prepared.
Ben used to be an Eagle Scout. That's when he realised he wanted to dedicate his life to helping people. Seriously, just fuck off. He says Pinky is fine, so Heather's back on the trail. But it's not fine, and now the brakes don't work. If you're wondering why Heather doesn't fall off on purpose instead of riding uncontrollably along the hilltop, again, you're asking too many questions. So Pinky's gone over and Heather is dangling off a cliff. But Ben has seen her, as has this couple. The guy tries to help her, but he can't reach. The girl gets her phone out and starts videoing it. What an awful cunt. When Ben gets there, he uses his belt-tying skills to pull Heather to safety. This stupid little bitch is still filming.
I am totally posting this online.
Heather's hurt her ankle, so Ben ties his t-shirt round it to get the swelling down, all while the camera is still rolling. This video has gone viral, and Heather's friend Annika is watching it and making this noise.
Stop it.
Heather's like, so do you remember Ben from school? And Annika's like, yeah, he was obsessed with you. But that's not how Heather remembers it. The bike shop owner, who has somehow managed to recover Pinky, says someone's fucked with the brakes and it definitely wasn't me. Heather's like, oh God, Ben messed with my bike. Maybe he did it. If you're asking yourself why she's forgotten the whole reason Ben was looking at the bike in the first place was because there was something wrong with it, stop that immediately. Back at home, Gwen, who's much better looking than Heather, reveals that she tried to get with Ben at school, but he was obsessed with Heather, so he said no. There's a knock on the door and it's the police. They've found out that the fire that killed their parents was deliberate, as the doorbell camera captured someone fleeing the scene.
Which makes it a murder investigation.
Heather and Gwen are like, no one would kill our parents, everyone loved them.
Maybe it was a robbery.
Is this how the police behave? Brainstorming the motives in front of the victims' families? I doubt it, and this isn't the only time the police in this film do weird stuff. Anyway, that evening, Heather's ex Richard calls. The viral video of her rescue has made him jealous, and now he wants her back, but she's like, no, sorry. Ben then drops by because he's heard about the arson investigation at the fire station. He's bought her a fire extinguisher and a photo of them together at school.
I thought you were the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen.
Ben is always talking about school like it was last week, when these people are supposed to be about 30. He also invites her to a charity chili cook-off at the station this weekend. Next day, Heather comes to meet Gwen in town, which gives this person an excuse to tamper with her car. Gwen asks Heather where she was the night their parents were killed, and Heather's like, oh, fuck off, Gwen, it wasn't me, I was in France. Then Gwen suggests that her new friend, the fireman, may have done it for her. Heather says, what about you then? Someone messed with my bike Pinky. Are you trying to kill me so you can get all the inheritance? This ridiculous meeting has given this masked figure enough time to mess with the seatbelt too. After calling in at the chili cook-off, Heather gets in the car and drives home. The car catches fire underneath and smoke starts coming through the vents. If you're wondering why Heather doesn't immediately pull over...
Yeah, I've heard the spiel.
Anyway, she eventually does pull over and can't reach her phone or release the seatbelt and passes out. Luckily, she has some sort of flashback of her dad telling her never to give up and manages to escape with a penknife. And look who's here to rescue her. At the hospital, Ben comes to visit and tells her how impressed he was with how she handled herself.
Been talking to the guys, and we can make room in the crew for you if you ever want to change careers.
Well, that's just an outright lie, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm pretty certain there are some tests involved, not just me, Reggie and Louie think she'd be alright. Oh, and he says he remembers she used to take photos of birds in photography class, so he's brought her this.
It's beautiful.
It's a fucking bird's nest. It's disgusting, and I'm surprised you're even allowed to take things like this into a hospital. Anyway, then Ben goes into some sickening speech about how going on 2 dates with her at school helped him through the tough times at the fire academy.
What?
Surprisingly, Heather is neither sickened nor massively creeped out by this, so agrees to go on a date with Ben when she gets out.
Really?
Yes.
Ugh, he's just pathetic. Gwen and Jason pick her up from the hospital.
Could someone seriously be trying to kill you?
So far, it looks like an accident.
Okay, so ignoring the fact that your parents were murdered, someone tampered with your bike, and then your car caught on fire, okay then. Gwen reckons it's Ben, but Heather suggests it could be her ex Richard. Gwen's like, no Heather, Ben is total stalker material, and he fucking is. But Richard is parked outside her house, and when she gets back, he's lurking outside. He knocks on the door and says he needs to talk to her and that there's something she needs to see. He takes her to Ben's house and through the window she sees gas cans and an incredible stalker collage.
Oh my God.
He's been stalking you since high school.
The police go to Ben's to investigate and he's like, what the fuck's this? I didn't make that. The police don't believe him, but they don't have any real evidence. Ben's like, yeah, well, someone's trying to stitch me up, and I reckon it's her ex-husband. When they get home, they're having tea.
You know you always make the best tea.
Funny that, because all she's done is pour water into a mug. He's done the rest. Anyway, Ben calls and says, look, I didn't do this. Someone planted all this stuff. Richard grabs the phone and says, look, Ben, why don't you just fuck off? If you call here again, I'll fucking batter you. But it was Richard, and it seems he's working with someone else.
I know I let you talk me into this, okay? But things have just gotten way out of control.
Whoever it is on the other end of the phone doesn't like that, so they follow Richard and run him off the road. When the police call Heather to tell her Richard is dead, this detective decides to share her theory with her on what happened.
Maybe Ben wanted Richard out of the way.
Whatever. Heather calls Annika and tells her that Richard is dead and that she needs to see her. Annika is doing a pottery class, and at the college where she is, Ben is doing some sort of fire presentation. He tries to speak to her, but she's like, piss off, Ben, you're the main suspect. When she gets up to the pottery room, Annika has decided they'll be drinking and recreating the scene from Ghost.
Okay.
But the masked figure is here, and he or she is taking a uniform and an axe from the fire truck. When Heather leaves, someone dressed as a fireman is coming up the stairs with an axe. She thinks it's Ben, but it's not Ben. It's Gwen's husband, Jason.
Oh my goodness.
It turns out Jason's business has gone tits up and he needs the money from Heather and Gwen's parents' house.
Yes, of course. Now things are beginning to make sense.
So while Heather's home packing to get away from Ben, Jason follows her into the house and starts pouring petrol everywhere. Heather catches him, but he's knocked her out and calls Ben on her phone. His plan is to make him come to the house so he can frame him for all the murders.
Smart.
The downstairs is totally engulfed in flames, but the smoke is somehow unable to climb stairs.
Oh, I see.
Gwen has received an alert on her phone that there's a fire at the house, so rushes round there, but Jason is locking Heather in her room with some rope. Ben has arrived and he's about to save her, but Jason grabs him and chokes him out. Heather escapes the room and smacks Jason over the head with a crowbar. She's about to drag Ben to safety, but Jason is back up and he's got a gun on them. So Gwen has come to the rescue with a fire extinguisher. Heather and Gwen take Ben outside, and here's where it gets really, really bad. Ben's not waking up, and it looks like he's dead, until Heather kisses him back to life. Then we see a school photo of Ben and Heather burning and turning into a wedding photo. Yeah, that's right, they're married. Heather is pregnant, of course, and they're at another chilly cook-off. Heather feels the baby kicking.
He's a fighter, just like his mom.
For fuck's sake. It looks like Annika is dating one of Ben's fireman friends too.
Of course.
And oh look, here comes Gwen. They're calling each other sis. Maybe she's going to start dating a fireman too. I have to go now because my mouth is filling up with sick. So until next time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and check out this other video. Thank you.